And the thing about these is that what we notice, because we like since our journey as knowledge workers and working on events, obviously we've had the opportunity to work on with large companies and on events where their missions and their purpose and everything comes out and going through our own process while working on these events. It became really apparent that even these really large companies get these so mixed up and confused, and the way that they write these interchangeable with a mission or a purpose, or and you can kind of see why they end up with these organizational problems that kind of stem from these really basic DNA, or this is like a foundation. Um, so yeah, it's really important, I think, to get these right as early as possible, and make these the foundation for how the activities that you do and the clients that you have and the partnerships that you have and the people that you hire. Because when you have this and you're very clear about where you're going, it's less likely that you're going to end up with some kind of organizational like midlife crisis or something like that we call it. So yeah, and we can show you the definition of these. Um, yeah, so our definition we always start with a purpose statement. And the purpose statement to us is actually it's like the soul of the company. It's like why you exist as an organization. It's actually the core reason why you exist. It's not what you do, it's not how you do it. It's actually the very core reason I exist too, so that, and the contribution that you're making. Um, and we can show you some examples, but that's actually it doesn't matter what industry that you're in. This could be, you could apply this purpose to multiple industries. It's really the essence of who you are. It's like, as if you imagine an organization to be an organism, and all the people working within the organization are keeping it alive, is the same as your body. You are an organism. You've got many different organisms within inside you that keep you alive. So but you have, before you had a name, before you had a gender, before you had any of these things that made up your identity, you had a soul. That you were, that's inside your body, and the purpose is that soul, or that essence of who you are. um, and yeah, it may take some time to get there. I think it takes a little bit of awareness to be able to create that. And it's an iterative process. You don't have to get it right off the bat, and it's also, it doesn't need to make sense to anybody but yourself. And it usually comes from the founders, the purpose statement. But what we then do is we then go to the vision, and the vision statement is actually a future state. It's what the world looks like when you've actually realized your purpose. So it's actually, you go there, you actually define what that world looks like, from all the contributions you've made, and that one statement is describing that future state, is the vision statement. And it's almost like you're trying to make yourself obsolete, because you don't need to exist anymore, because your purpose is realized, and actually the world is how you envisioned it to be. So you don't really need to exist anymore. That is the perfect future state. um, and then the mission statement is really about filling the gaps. It's like, if you know who you are and you know where you're going, which is the vision, then the mission is really, it's the steps or the activities that you're actually taking to get to that vision. And that's that in its simplest terms. Like, that's really what it is. So we
Mm.
we use that eagle, and then we have this matrix that we use to package it all up together. And the values we find tend to emerge through the process of working. We always have a board where we hear a value or a word gets mentioned, or there's something that always comes through, a point that might return. So we always will take that, flag that, and actually take time in a workshop to park those values, so we can come back
Mm.
to and maybe collate them and organize them later.